Sup guys, my name is Mock and today we're going to be doing a how to top lane. This is mainly for lower elo people, bronze, silver, gold, and it's just my version of what you guys need to do in order to carry your games. The very first item we're going to be talking about is what to play top, what champions you need to play. These are generally going to be tier 1, tier 0, which are the best top laners, or best champions for top lane. And you need to focus on those champions. They're the best because of win rate, because of how strong they are, and other things like that. So on the screen you should see there are 7 top laners. I just wanted you guys to have a broad basis on who you can play to have a very versatile gameplay. These champions include Nidalee, Gragas, Renekton, Shyvana, Irelia, Ryze, and Lulu. All these champions have a few things that really take them to the top. They are really strong duelists, really strong early game, can snowball off an early lead, and are extremely good in team fights. So first off is Nidalee. Nidalee is a really good duelist in the top lane. She can nearly 1v1 any laner. Gragas, he's really good too. He has a lot of sustain, but once he gets through laning phase, it's hard to kill him, and he has an excellent team fight with his ult. Renekton is a very early game organic champion who that scales okay into a late game, but he is a huge threat when it comes to team fights. Same thing for Shyvana, but she's more late game than Renekton. Irelia, early game kinda sucks, but mid to late game she is such an assassin and really good for team fights. Ryze, he's okay early game. He has really good harass, but if he's facing someone who can, out harass him, then he's gonna be screwed. Therefore, late game, he's a menace, and we all know that. And Lulu, she's really good early game. She's really surprisingly strong, and has a really good synergizable team fight. That's good for any team. The next thing you guys really want to focus on as top laners is warding. Now, despite what you might think, warding is a huge, crucial point in the early game top lane race. So let's just start off with this first bush, one of the most warded bushes in the top lane. From red side, if you're being pushed down, this is a very good bush to ward. Even if you're pushing up, it's a very good bush to ward. It gives you information on where the jungler is at, what the top laner could be doing, anyone who could be roaming up. Now, it's also good as red side to ward the tri-bush. Now, the tri-bush gives you information on where the enemy top laner is, if he's doing golems, going mid, if someone is coming up to gank, or if the jungler is trying to gank or doing golems. Now, for blue side, warding tri, it's more of a defensive ward. If you're being pushed to tower and you're afraid of diving, you're generally going to put a ward here or a ward here. I'm going to do that right now. But if you're pushing up as blue side, you're going to put a ward right here. This is a very offensive ward. It gives you information on if the top lane warded, if anyone's roaming up, and things like that. The third place you generally want to ward on blue side is right here, this third bush. I know this Summoner's Rift map isn't very up to date because there's 3 bushes now, but it's the best Summoner's Rift thing I could find. But you're generally going to ward this third bush right here. It's a very aggressive ward, gives you information on enemy minions if you don't know what about that stuff yet, and also gives you information on where the top laner is and if a jungler is trying to gank your lane. Now for red side, it's the same thing with this third bush right here. Now let's talk about pinks. Usually when you buy pinks, it's because someone's been ganking you a lot, or you just got that much of an advantage in gold. So places you're probably going to pink is here. If you're red side, you got a huge advantage. Well, not huge, but if you're red side and you don't want to buy a bunch of green wards and you can afford to put a pink and defend it, you're going to put it here. For blue side, if you can afford and defend a pink, you're going to put it right here. Putting pinks here is kind of risky, because if the top laner sees it and you're CSing minions, it's just like, well, I can't exactly stop you. So this is a big iffy, these pinks right here. I would never put a pink here. as blue side just because. So yeah. Alright, the third and final thing you guys really need to focus on is itemization. What do I buy and when do I buy it? So starting off, for generally every top laner that you're going to be playing, you're almost always going to be starting a Doran's item. Now if you're going to damage, you're going to start Doran's Blade with a health pot and a sight trinket. If you're going tanky, you know your matchup and you know what you need to buy. You're going to go Doran's Shield, health pot, and warding totem. An awesome extreme buy, well not extreme, but you don't really see it much, is Cloth Armor 5 pot. You generally run this if you don't really have a good early game and you know the enemy top laner is very destructive early game and can kill you easily. Something else you don't really see much of is starting Crystalline Flask and 3 pots. You almost never see this, but it's just something people have been taking lately to deal with the high burst speed champions that they are facing. When it comes to damage top laners, you're gonna usually focus your build around this. Like Irelia would buy Trinity Force, Renekton would start Ravenous Hydra, things like that. Blighter King on Jax, Black Cleaver, what builds into it, the Brutalizer. You're usually going to have Moby Boots, but it doesn't hurt to have Ninja Tabby or Mercury Treads as a damage top laner. When it comes to tanky, you're almost never going to have mobility boost. You're usually going to have Ninja Tabbies, Mercury Treads. Usually people rush Radon's Omen, and Sunfire Cape for early DPS and just overall defensive stats. And Spirit Visage and Banshee's Veil are alternatives for MR. When it comes to late game items, you always want to sell your Sight Ward for Sweeping Winds, and you want to update it. You want to pay the $475 to upgrade it. You want to upgrade it sooner than late game. If you're facing someone like Vayne or Twitch, someone with invisibility. And also GA is always a good item on generally any champion for the top lane. Alright, now that you learned all these little information about top lane, it's time for you to get on the Rift and test it for yourself. The only way to really get good at the game is by playing it and putting hours into it. If you're someone who can't play it every day, most likely you're not going to get much better. I'm not saying you're bad or anything, it's a fact. Now if you put heavy hours every day, like 2+ hours every day into this game, you're going to reap many rewards if you follow a good guide and do the same thing every single game that helps you kick success. So now it's your time to get on the Rift and for you to go out there. Thank you for watching my guide, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Goodbye.